Hello, hello. Dior Holiday, I've got another palette to share with you. This one is the Iconic Makeup palette. This one is the smaller of the two. We'll get into the details. We'll swatch and we'll create a couple of looks. I'm excited for this. Also, I'm going to share with you this new product from Dior. This is the Rouge Dior Sequin Liquid Duo. This is cool. This sounds fun and exciting. This collection, it's giving festive glow. It's giving sparkle. Yes, it's circus themed, but it's also giving those things too. All with the signature Dior elegance. Let's get into it, shall we? If you're curious about the other holiday palette from Dior, I already posted the dedicated video to the bigger one. I'll link it so that you can check it out after this one. So let's get into details about the Iconic Eye Makeup. This again is the smaller of the two palettes. And here she is. Cute. This palette is a beautiful mix of browns, nudes, and rose tones with a soft satin finish. It's elegant, wearable, and gives that subtle luxe glow Dior does so well. That's exciting. Yeah, I like that a lot. The packaging on this, she gets a 10. Beautiful. Feels great. The size. I love that it's not too bulky. I like also that when you go to open it, it has to snap shut. Like that a lot. Now the details on this, there's little stars. This faux leather material is soft and squishy, but it's still hard, you know what I mean? But the materials feel nice, and I love all the little details, little stars here and all around here too. And then here, and then on the back. When you open her up, it goes all the way, okay? Nice full-size mirror. Good quality. These mirrors are not like the Dior blush mirrors, if you know, you know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Now, it does come with an applicator and a little plastic cover. So plastic cover and the applicator. One end is a brush and one is a little spongy bit. We're going to use this today because I have been continuously using these that are included because they work. They work just fine. Anyways, here's the color story. Isn't it gorgeous? And the details continue on the beautiful color story. So looking forward to dabbling in and creating some looks with this, but let's swatch her. Let's see. I think this is the only matte in the palette, this dark brown, but that's a good idea. So creamy. First impression after swatching, very smooth to the touch, creamy, pigmented, gorgeous goodness. Let's create some looks, yeah? Just by looking at the color story after swatching, the thing I like right away is how realistic this color story is. It's not a color story that you're going to feel is solely dedicated for special occasions, solely dedicated for the holidays. This is a color story that goes way beyond that. You can use this throughout the year. Now, this has a 6-month shelf life. I know, but I will say this. Whenever I get these palettes for the holiday, I use them nonstop. So I thoroughly get to enjoy them. But 6 months is 6 months. I get it. I didn't do it. I'm just sharing it with you. So for our first look, I'm just going to let my brush guide me. I don't really know exactly what I want to do. I'll have everything listed and linked down below. As usual, brushes, all those details, all those things. Now, I did just take my concealer and brought it up on the lid. Yeah. Okay. This shade is very creamy to a point where I'm getting absolutely no kick up. Let me like really push the brush in there. It's getting on there and it's very little kick up. But keep in mind, this is a very light colored palette, so it's going to get dirty, and it's got a little dirty right there. And let's start outer eye and crease. This brush, I intentionally picked this brush because of the shape It's very tapered at the tip, so I can really focus in and not do too much if I want to. But then it's also very soft and fluffy, so it's going to deliver a very diffused deposit of color. So I just very softly want to apply this in the crease and on the outer eye. The intention is just to give a bit of depth to the eyes. And it's doing so very nicely and very easily. Look how nice and easy that blended. Yes, this is going to make for a beautiful, easy, one and done smoky brown eye. Hello. I'm going to take just the tip of the brush. Bring that down ever so slightly. This is a Dior number 28 brush. I am going to go into this shade right here, which is right beside that brown shade. I'm going to pack that on the brush. Tap that excess. And let's place this on the lid. Very pretty. Okay. I'm just taking my time to build this shade up. I'm applying this all over the lid, but I definitely know I'm going to go in with another shade. For fun. I want to try my finger. And just tap it on this. Yeah, it's going to give you a bit more when you use your finger. Look at that. Pretty. Very pretty. I'm going to go back into the brush we used first. There's no product on here. I just want to use it to diffuse and blend everything. This is a Chantecaille brush. It's the Precision Blend. I want to go into this golden shade. And let's place this on the inner corner. All over. And then bring it in. Building it up a bit more. I want a little more intensity as I bring it in on the lid. Back into the Dior brush, no product. I'm just going to use this to blend the two colors together. So a soft little pat where the two colors meet to diffuse them together so we have no harshness. Beautiful formula. The colors blend together very, very nicely. And fallout, who are you? Where are you? You're not here. Very pretty. All right. I'm going to go in with my eye kajal from Chantecaille, a nice creamy black, and then I'm going to smudge it just a little on the lower lash. And that same brush, let's go into the brown shade. Finish it up with some mascara. First look complete. Let's do another look, shall we? For this look, we're going to use the applicator that's included. First, I'm going to go in with the fluffy side. And I'm going to go into this shade. It's like a pinky shade. Very like burgundy pink-ish. Yeah. I'm going to apply that all over the lid and ooh, fall out. It's probably the brush. This is, you know, it's a little intense. But there is some fallout. In comparison to the rest of the palette, you can see this is the only one that really did that. And again, I think it's from this little brush. And I'm just going to apply this all over. And this brush, it's soft, but it's dense. And I'm just fluffing it on. I can actually pick up all this fallout and just use it on my lid. I'm gonna pat that fallout that I picked up. And then we'll blend. Okay. Very pretty. Very basic, but very pretty. We love that. I'm going to take the sponge side of the applicator and go into that same shade And I want to intensify this color a bit. Okay, very nicely. Look at that. These are intended to mimic your fingers, so I've got my nails, which are pretty long. I love applying eyeshadows with the finger because it gives more intensity. This, you can get that same effect. So let's continue to build this up. And then I'll go back over to the fluffy side of the applicator and just blend the edges. Hello. This I'm so content with as a one and done. Going with a little wing, call it a day. We have not tried this lightest shade here. Let's. So I'm gonna just turn over to the clean side. And this one is giving me some fallout too. But you see? Let's put this on the inner corner. Let's see if we can intensify it. But I will say I do like that little subtleness because bright shades like this on my skin tone, not my favorite. When it's too bright, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, you could definitely brighten it up. So that's good to know. All right, I'm just gonna take the rest, whatever's left, and blend it inward. Let's go back into the shade on the lid. And I want to just, where the two colors meet, pat. Yes. Clean off the applicator a bit. Let's go into the brown shade, and I'm gonna try to focus it towards the tip because I want to put this on my lower lash. So just right there. Let's put this on the lower lash. So you see, you can totally use this little applicator to do everything. Turning over to the fluffy side, and gonna just blend this. Now, we're not surprised. I knew based on just picking up from the palette that I would get some fallout, but we've got a little bit of fallout here on this side. I'm gonna dust that away before I go in with a little eyeliner. I'm gonna grab my Sochi eye brightener. This one, it's a creamy beige shade, and these open up the eyes beautifully, so let's. And then finish this up with some mascara. Here's our second look. Oh, it's so playful and soft. Personally, this, I'm good with wearing this every single day. I love pink eyeshadow. Formula is smooth and pretty, pretty, pretty on the lid, giving that beautiful sheen in a way that reflects the light, but it's not scattery and uber glittery. Very, very pretty. Yeah, for the bit of kick up and, you know, the darker color being all the way on the end here, for the most part, the palette's still pretty clean. Other than like right here a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. But, you know, just thought I'd share. I feel very good wearing both of these looks anytime, anywhere. But I will say this gold is so pretty. You know those really nice holiday looks that is just the gold and then the smokiness on the end? Ooh, I can see it. So here are my two looks from the Iconic Eye Makeup palette, Couture case, whatever it's called. Very, very, very pretty. All right, let's try this new lip product. I'm very excited to see. Let's try out the new Rouge Dior Sequin Liquid Duo. I think we can all agree this reminds us of something. I immediately thought of it, but I figured, you know, let's give it a chance. Let's not compare because technically it's different. It's just the component, I guess, kind of sort of reminds us of that. This double-ended lip duo combines a sequin finished liquid lipstick on one side and a glossy shine on the other. You can wear them together or separately for a multi-dimensional holiday lip. So this is the shade 520 Illusionist. So let's do a quick little swatch. Very creamy. And then once it dries down, you're supposed to put your lips together and then the glitters really come through, because right now it's just the color. The shape of the applicator looks like it's going to make application quite easy. So let's see. Okay. So here it is, freshly applied. Now we're going to let it dry down so that we can, you know, do the whole glitter thing. In the meantime, I really like this applicator. The shape in here, it's like a little bit of a well. So product is in there, and once you're gliding it on the lips, that's kind of where you can pick up extra product to build the color up. And the shape allows for you to precisely apply. So I like this applicator, and just going in one time allowed for me to have enough product for all over. I stay away from liquid lipsticks because look at my lips, they're a little liney. But I'm gonna let it dry down. We'll do the glitter bit and then we'll put the gloss on top. But let me show you on the swatch here, it's pretty cool. This has dried down, so you just kind of rub it together. Rub it. See all the pretty glitter? But they've done this before, but this is new, so we had to try. Let's see if I can speed this process up a bit. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes. I took a phone call. So here we are. At first, when I put my lips together, it was like still drying, so it kind of stuck together. But now that it's completely dried, we're good. Here we are. Let me maybe turn on the flash and see if we can really... Here's what I'll say so far. It doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't feel gritty. Those little glitter particles, you don't feel them. They're smooth. It's light and comfortable, the formula, and it's not drying. It doesn't feel like it's drying my lips out. But the way it looks like it's dry just because of my lips. My lips look like this. My lips always look dry. That's why I tend to gravitate towards glossy products. But this works out perfectly because I now get to put the gloss on top. But you could totally wear it just like this. It doesn't feel heavy and you don't feel the glittery bits, and it's nice and light. So now we go into the glitter. Wipe off how much came out. All right, let's go. There it is with the gloss on top. I will say I can feel the gloss. You know some lip glosses, they're glossy and juicy, but you don't feel them because they're just gliding. This, I can feel it on the lips. Now let's do the real test. Okay. It's a tiny bit sticky. Listen, at these prices, we are allowed to really pay attention to those details, okay, at this price point. So that's why I'm sharing all of that with you. Okay. Here it is. Let me try the flash again, see how it looks now that it's nice and juicy. I like it with the gloss. I like it with the gloss a lot. Ooh, I like it a lot with the gloss. I knew this was going to happen. And I'm trying to remove the swatch and it's not coming off, so that's a great sign for staying power. Here's our finished look. Feeling pretty good about it. Feeling pretty good about it. I enjoyed working with the shadows. The colors, they're so practical, so easy. Formula's great. This is definitely something you'll use way outside and beyond the holidays. I do really enjoy that a lot of the shades give you the option of a one and done. I love that they threw this nice rich brown in. You can go in with a nice big fluffy brush to diffuse it and give that soft you know, blend. Use it for just a little bit of depth. Use it to create a nice rich smoky eye, build it up. It does so beautifully. And then all of the other shades, one and dones. I will say these two, the lightest and then this pinky one that I have on this, the texture's a little bit different. These gave me a little more fallout than the others. And this one is the only one that gave me fallout on the lid. But overall, they all performed really well and look really, really pretty. Something I have noticed, and look, it's not to take away from anything, it's just something I noticed. But these holiday, the little ones, not the big one. These holiday palettes, both of them, because the eyeshadow in this one, I've been using this actually. I love the eyeshadow in that to bits. But the eyeshadows in this, the formula, it just feels better than the quints. I have so many quints from Dior, so I feel like I know the Dior quints. Beautiful, very, very, very nice. But man, these holiday eyeshadows, the formulas feel better. I can't explain it. They just do. So I really do look forward to these during the holiday because I use them so much. Every single one of, I'm going to speak for the small, because I've gotten the small holiday palettes more than I have the big ones, but every single one of the smaller holiday palettes that I've gotten, I've used almost down to pan. And that says a lot for someone who gets to try so much makeup as often as I do. These are great, and this one did not disappoint. I will say, be careful with the white packaging, but I personally love white and I kind of know how to work with it. I did make a little mess on the side, but I don't think it's anything to complain about. Great eyeshadows, beautiful colors. I'm gonna enjoy this one too. Pleasantly surprised with this. As a girly that does not like liquid lipsticks, I tend to stray away because I showed you my lips have lots of lines and they look a little dry. Even though they're not sometimes. I don't know, it's just the way the good Lord made me, okay? So, it by itself for me is a no, but the fact that I can put the gloss on top, yes. And did you see the sparkle? Oh, so pretty. One thing I will say is I feel that you could totally wear this on like a regular day because the sparkle is there and you can see it, but I feel like you really need to look for it. It's not like, I don't know, I almost feel like I expected it to be super duper glittery, but they have it where it's balanced, where it's glittery, but it's not to the point where you only want to reach for this when you have something special and you want to shine, you know what I mean? You can totally wear this. Because like right now, doesn't it look kind of normal? Then let's say you're out and the lights hit. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? So I do find this to have that nice balance. And I do like that they did super fine glitters that you can't feel. And it's so, so, so comfortable. So this is really beautiful. I could definitely see myself getting more of these. Maybe just one more. Again, if you are interested in seeing the other Dior Holiday palette, I will make sure that that video is linked for you. Or it's in the Dior playlist here on the channel. I really do love that this collection captures the spirit of Dior. Elegant, festive, and just beautiful on the skin. Let me know how we're feeling about these holiday pieces from Dior. Let's talk about it. Comment down below. Thank you for being here and spending some time with me today. If you've enjoyed today's video, please take a moment and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.